I thought I was having a normal Friday. I pulled into my driveway and immediately noticed something strange. My garage door was open. Inside sat a white BMW. The problem was simple. It wasn't my car, and I had never given anyone permission to park there. At first, I thought someone made a mistake. Maybe a contractor, maybe a confused neighbor. But the truth was far stranger. A neighbor quickly explained. The car belonged to Linda Parker, the HOA president. Apparently, she had decided my garage was convenient. When I confronted Linda, she wasn't embarrassed. She wasn't apologetic. She acted like she had every right to use it. Her explanation was unbelievable. If it's empty, it's basically community space. She said, I thought she was joking. She wasn't joking. She genuinely believed an unused garage was available for HOA use. That night, I checked my cameras. The footage showed everything. Linda had parked there without asking. There was no misunderstanding, no emergency, no permission, just pure entitlement. Then I remembered something important. The next morning, I was leaving for a 2-week vacation, and the garage door had a lock. So before leaving, I closed the garage, locked it securely, and headed to the airport without saying a word. By the time my flight took off, I had a feeling Linda was about to have a very interesting 2 weeks. The following morning, Linda arrived expecting to retrieve her BMW. Instead, she found a locked garage and no way inside. At first, she thought it was a mistake. Then she started knocking, then yelling, then demanding answers. Neighbors began gathering. Most already knew the story, and many were curious to see how this would end. Linda tried calling me, then texting, then emailing. Unfortunately, I was already thousands of miles away. That evening, Linda called an emergency HOA meeting. She claimed I was holding her vehicle hostage. The board listened carefully. Then the HOA attorney reviewed the facts. The car was on private property, inside a private garage, without permission. The attorney's opinion was direct. The real issue wasn't the garage. The real issue was how the car got there. A few days later, deputies visited the property. Linda wanted them to force entry, but things didn't go as planned. The deputies reviewed the evidence. The footage was clear. The vehicle had been placed there without the owner's consent. The deputies explained something important. Ownership of the car didn't create access rights to someone else's garage. Meanwhile, I was enjoying my vacation. Every few days, my phone buzzed with new messages. Most were from Linda. The messages became increasingly desperate. At first, she demanded. Then she negotiated. Eventually, she started apologizing. By the end of the second week, Linda's confidence had disappeared. For the first time, she realized private property rights worked both ways. 2 weeks later, I finally returned home. The neighborhood looked normal, but judging by the messages, Linda's situation definitely wasn't. Within minutes, Linda appeared in my driveway. Gone was the attitude, gone were the demands. Now she wanted to talk. For the first time, she apologized, not just for the garage, but for the way she'd handled everything. It was a completely different tone. After listening, I walked to the garage, pulled out my keys, and unlocked the door. The BMW was exactly where she'd left it. A few minutes later, the BMW rolled out. No damage, no drama, just a lesson nobody would forget. At the next HOA meeting, Linda addressed the community. She admitted she had crossed a line and acknowledged that private property deserved respect. In the end, the issue was never about a garage. It was about boundaries. And sometimes, the best lessons come from consequences.